3,000 years ago, a long way from here, there was a battle taking place between two armies. A battle between the Philistines and the Israelites. And they were fighting over the beautiful land of Elah, nestled in the foothills of Judah. And the battle was stuck in deadlock, both armies just staring each other, sweating, fretting, worried about what to do next. And the leaders of the armies decided to avoid colossal bloodshed. They decided to have a single combat, a fight to the death. The best warrior from each army would come forward and the winner would take all. The Philistines put forward a beast of a man. He was almost 7 feet tall. You'll have heard of him. He's called Goliath. Even the sight of his armour terrified the Israelites. Look, I've got his helmet here. I'm scared just holding this thing. From the Israelites, no one came forward, apart from a little cocky shepherd boy called David. And the leader of the army said, David, you cannot fight Goliath. You'll be murdered. But David said, no problem. I'm used to fighting wild animals and keeping them away from my sheep. I can do it, no problem. So, well, there was no one else. So David was allowed to go ahead. And what happened next? Well, you know what happened next. He went towards Goliath, and Goliath was insulted. He thought this was some kind of a joke. He said, come here and fight. And David said, no, I'll just stay here. Thanks very much. And what he did was, he bent down, picked up a rock, put it into a shepherd's sling, spun it around his head to tremendous velocity and whoosh, let it go. And bang, it hit Goliath right on an unprotected part of his head. He fell down unconscious, and David was then able to go and finish off the job. Now you will have heard that story with David framed as an underdog, but in fact he wasn't an underdog at all. He was someone that took control of the situation, and that's what you have to do with your message. So like David, you have to change the rules of the game. He didn't go towards Goliath, he stayed where he was and played towards his strengths. That's what you have to do as well. You have to play towards your strengths and amplify the significance of the problems that you fix in your buyer's mind. What was the next thing that David did? Well, it was very, very accurate. He's very targeted, and you have to be targeted with your message. Not just to the persona, but to the actual person and the situation that they're in. And the last thing that David did was he accelerated that rock to tremendous velocity to maximize the impact. And you have to maximize the impact of your message by only talking about what your buyer really cares about. This isn't Israel, but the same rules apply here.